I'm not a detailed person. Those that know this or hear this would be like, "Yep, he sucks at detail." There's no fight about it. And we have one of our leadership team at work is a very detail-oriented person, and he's always like, "Bryce, so this is what I do. I spend money for the company, and I lose my receipts." And that drives every detail or finance person nuts. And so I developed a system so that I accomplish what needs to get done. So the system is I take a picture and I send an email that has been created for me called Bryce's Receipts. And it goes to our finance department. And what that reminded me of is I'm not going to be good at certain things. So you might not be good at I need a schedule for my fund. But what it is it created a system for me to exist within, which created a rhythm.
This episode was filmed in front of a live studio audience. Viewer discretion is advised.
Action, we're back for your satisfaction from Action Business Furniture Studios is where it's happening. We have a special guest star appearance today from Bryce and Katie Brewer. Give it up for that. Today's conversation is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Who are you hiring?
And now, your host, Jonathan Byron. Take it away, Jonathan.
Thank you, Bryce. Thank you, Bryce, Katie, for being here.
Thank you and good night.
Yeah, thank you and good night. I'm done. We actually talked a bit about this a little bit, and this is kind of an ongoing conversation. And I was just telling everybody my startle reflex is starting to be triggered more easily. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and there's a lot, especially on social media. There's just a lot of static and angst and things that I'm super excited to just have a room full of people. We're laughing, we're having a good time together. Those of you that are joining us online, live, or watching the recording, this is going to be, I'm super excited about this show. I'm also going to just comment.
Yes.
So Bryce and Katie, our guests today. Bryce, just a minute ago, you were sharing with the room just a little bit about what you're going to share, and I'm like, we have a new host. My job is in danger.
No.
You're just your presence is phenomenal, and I appreciate you being here.
And your hair is rad.
Thank you.
Your hair is great. Everything's on point. This is. But the energy just before we went live is this is why we do this, is to get people together, laugh together, have a good time together. So this is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yep.
I'm excited about it. We start every week with a quick round of introductions. So we're gonna head around the table to my left and just who you are, what you do, what your industry is, your business name. And then from there, I do like to invite people to highlight events that are coming up that they are going to attend. If you're hosting an event, if you just heard about an event that you can't go to, but you think people should know about, we want to make sure that people are getting out there and getting together in person. So I'm going to hand it
off to me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, hey everyone, Rob Ruder here. As a person who has often avoided technology because it's just not something I wanted to identify with, but I find out that it is important and necessary. I like helping small business owners convert their technology woes into something of growth and profitability. So I run a series of open office hours, and so you can find me on Wednesdays and Saturdays at Made with Love Bakery on 2023 West Main. And I'm always happy to sit down and talk about anything with technology.
Excellent. Welcome.
Hey everybody, my name is Steve Hicks. I am a fitness and weight loss coach for working professionals. I usually try to use an anthropology approach instead of a sports performance approach. And it's done great results. 72% of my clients from 2019, they've maintained weight loss of 50 pounds or more 5 years after the program. That's unheard of results in the industry. I'm really proud of that. And I don't know, Rob would say I have an event going on with a Godzilla marathon, watching a Godzilla movie every day. So if you want to get into the hijinks, stomp on over to my Facebook page.
Love it.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm with Credit Fix Joe. Natalie's my partner to help. We do education and workshops on credit to help people improve their lives. Obviously, we repair credit, but that's second to what our passion is, which is just helping people. I'm the ambassador of Spokane Alignable. We have an event coming up 10/23 at, you can't see that, 1023 downtown at the Hotel Indigo. It's going to be huge. We're trying to get the mayor there as well. Also, there's the Idaho Alliance. There's an event coming up 10/14 this month in a couple weeks. That's going to be a good turnout. If you want to join Alignable, here's the QR code. I'm not sure if it's showing. Give it a second. It's delayed.
A little higher. There you go.
All right, scan it and you can check out our page or join us. But overall, yeah, we're just here to help. So if you need anything, reach out.
Hi, I'm Natalie McGinley, and I work at Credit Fix Joe as a client resource manager alongside with our credit guru here, Joshua. And I am currently a moderator at Alignable for the Spokane Alliance, Alliance of Spokane. So yeah, those events are great to just get involved and build relationships within the community, and can't wait to see who shows up on the 23rd.
Awesome. That's going on my list. I'm Cherie Sauer. I'm co-owner of Success Without Sacrifice. I worked with high-performing athletes for 14 years, and so I took the principles that helped athletes go from average to Olympic gold and teaching business owners how to apply that to their business. If you are a realtor in the real estate industry, we are hosting a workshop October 22nd at the Cracker Building. I don't have a specific time. It's either going to be 10 to 12 or 11 to 1. If you're wanting to double your transactions without burnout, make sure to join us. Reach out to me and I'll get you the details.
Hello, I'm Dave Ribble from Stand Up Mastery. We concentrate mostly on your skills as a communicator, connector, and collaborator. A coach, we put you on Zoom, we embarrass you, we do anything we can to help you get over the fact that you don't need to be this nervous about this kind of stuff. And when you're circling around with these guys, you know you can have fun with it. Dave Ribble from Stand Up Mastery. Dave at daveribble.com is how you can reach me. I'll tell you more about it. Hey, Zane.
Hello, Dave. Hi, I'm Zane Schwindeman. I'm with Zebra Go, and I talk a lot about our phone answering. That's a lot of what we do, but we also have our own software platform that we developed to facilitate our phone answering as well as your business management. So if you're looking to get some software included with your phone answering, or if you just want to try out our software, let me know. You can check us out at zebrago.io or send me a message here on Facebook. But we'd love to help you out, get you freed up from all the boring stuff and back to why you started your business.
Hi, I'm Heidi Simmons, and I'm the founder of Empower and Engage, and I guide parents to help their kids with executive functions. So those skills are like problem solving, conflict resolution, relationship building. And these tools actually help not just parents and kids, but all relationships. And if you'd like to learn more about how that can work for you and your family, let me know. And if you have an organization you'd like me to share this with, I'd be happy to do that too. And you can reach me at heidi@empowerandengage.com.
My name is Melissa Byron, and I'm with Thrive Wellness, and I help people move the needle. And I do that in a lot of different ways and giving really manageable, easy tools, whether that's with weight loss, whether that's with just healthy mind. It's just really a whole host of different things. And that's why I like to get to know my clients and figure out what they actually need. I also do a lot of other coaching with families, with marriages, with helping the people with their kids and their adult children too. So if any of that interests you, I'd love to have a chat.
I am Katie Brewer, and I'm here with Pinnacle Investigations today. So I think you will be hearing a lot more from Bryce and myself. But we are a pre-employment background screening company. As stated earlier, we help you know who you're hiring. Jonathan, you mentioned an event that we've been involved in lately. We just attended the Safety Net annual auction. We were a sponsor, and Safety Net's really cool organization that Pinnacle has been partnering with that helps place kids with resources that are aging out of foster care. And so that was a really neat night, really cool organization that we're getting to know a little bit more about. So, yeah.
I'm Bryce Brewer with Pinnacle Investigations, where we help you know who you are hiring. Like Katie said, we do background checks for pre-employment. So that is large corporations to small mom and pops and anywhere in between to make sure that they know who is in their doors and protecting and keeping their clients and their fellow employees safe. You can find more out about us at whoareyouhiring.com. And one I'd like to highlight is Waymaker Academy in Coeur d'Alene is hosting a trunk or treat on Saturday, October 25th. If there's more details, you can reach out to us and we'll get you connected with that.
Awesome.
I know what the haters say. They say all we do is drink alcohol and fornicate. That is categorically false. We are the music makers. We are the innovators. We are the dreamers of dreams. And a beautiful thing happened. Rob Bruder brought Dave Ribble to Big Data. It was a beautiful thing. We had the ceremony on the 20th and the baby shower, and they showed it off, and I went up to it, and it was so beautiful, and I Simba'd it, and I held it up in front of everyone to see, and it was a great thing. We're going to do that again. We're going to be swapping data. We're going to be swapping data in each other's ports. It's going to dirty data. It's going to be bad. We are the reproductive organs of the machine world, and we are not ashamed to say that. We are proud. We are here. We are restoring the steam plant. Be there October 18th, 6 to 9 for the Rise of the Agentic Children.
All right, thank you, Mike. In case you didn't catch it, he's highlighting an event that I do enjoy attending. It's an AI mixer at the steam plant. It is a really good time. If you're at all interested in AI, I do highly recommend that event. I'm Jonathan Byron. I am a realtor here in Spokane, Washington. I've got a few clients right now that are navigating the world of needing to sell their house and buy a house. And while there's a world of options, they're all come with their challenges. And so I just highlight that because if you are thinking about real estate, if you want to get into real estate, you want to buy a house, you want to sell a house, you want to become an agent, you're just kind of like curious about real estate, I would love to talk to you. That's kind of my thing. I don't actually have a website that I can just spout off like that.
Tone an email.
Or an email. Like it's just, that's not how, what I roll with is like, call me, message me, reach out. Doesn't matter. I've got a cell phone, and like all of those things all come to my cell phone. So if you're at all curious, reach out one way, comment on this video. I really don't care. I will find, if you're interested, I'll find you. But props to you guys that do have like a GabeRibble.com. Like I have JohnByron.com. It's just not ready. It's just not ready. So don't go look at that. Don't go look at that. I had this little moment just now when you guys were introducing yourself. Like, I am genuinely humbled to be in this room with all of you. Like, every one of you have done so many cool things, so many amazing things, and what you are offering to your audiences is amazing. And it's a privilege to get to be here. And I know that's nothing to do with our theme, but I really appreciate everybody that's here. And for those of you that are watching online, that are commenting and YouTubing this later, like come be here. Like, it is just really neat to be in this room with these people. So that's your open invitation to come join us live, or keep watching from the nosebleeds. That's okay too.
We appreciate you too, John.
Thank you.
And all you're doing.
And your baby.
I appreciate it here. I just there's times that I'm putting down my barber, like, hey, your beard's looking good. When your barber, who has an amazing beard himself, says that, now he's the one that trims, so it's kind of like him complimenting himself. But okay, we have derailed. We're talking.
We need to recreate this conversation.
There it is.
There's the pivot.
There it is. We got it.
All right, Bryce.
Conversation.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw it to you.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about, and I just sprung this on Katie like 20 minutes ago, just how running a business or being a business owner comes with a lot of stress associated with it. And so how can we in our lives create margin to have fun? So how can we recreate or recreate what we're doing? And so Katie and I are just going to have a conversation that you guys are going to join us with about the things we're doing in our life to create that margin of fun, to make sure that you're having a good time. We're going to talk a little bit about Mexico. We're going to talk about laughter in our marriage, some inside jokes, and it might wander into the inappropriate from time to time. And so Katie will steer me back to PG. I always like to steer towards PG-13 because it's a little bit more fun. And so that's what we're going to talk about today.
I like it.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
all right. Any questions for us as we get started, or do you just want me to start talking and then anyone can interrupt us?
Well, I don't know. So one of the things that I love about what we do here, and I stumbled on this about a week ago when I was making marketing material, it's unscripted. So like I enjoy, I was telling a few people recently, I enjoy the various conversations that I get to have in the community. And then, like you and I, our conversation was like, it's amazing. And it's like, man, I wish I could share this with certain individuals or with the world. And so that's what this is. This is an opportunity for us to just have a conversation, but like a big group discussion. Okay. So you had talked about some of the things, cornhole and
so different than you're used to, Josh.
So just the first thing he says, we had some good conversation about cornhole.
Everyone starts talking about cornhole.
Okay,
so,
all right, all right, PG-13.
I think one of the things that Katie and I always talk about is I was only okay at sports growing up, and so I really fell into activities. And so an activity is something that you can do while drinking. And so that includes things like bowling. I jokingly rip on my parents that we were raised white trash because we grew up in bowling alleys. But that put me in like the activity thing. So anything you can do with a beer in your hand. So Beersby is a game, cornhole is a game, volleyball, that's an activity because you can do that with the beer in your hand. And so anything that you can do, because if you play volleyball right, spike ball, yeah, exactly. You got to do good at this. And so
that's where Hold My Beer came from.
Yes, it is. It's Hold My Beer, I'm going to do this spike. And so Katie and I have really embraced that idea of fun. So things that you can do with people that have a joy associated with them. And that means the type of people that we allow into our life. We're all going to have people in our life that I would call on that exterior circle. People that, hey, you're my friend. What are these things? And then we're going to have people that you're my friend. And then you got people that you're my friend. So we like to pick the people that are going to be close in our proximity of people that bring life into what we do. I've been accused, rightfully so, of being an unrealistic optimist. And that sounds like a dig, but for me, that's been life-giving. I would much rather be the person that believes in everybody, that brings an ounce of joy into their life when we interact with them, and some laughter. One of the phrases that we both kind of adopted is, we're here to love the hell out of people. We actually believe that people, just because of life, through trauma, through experiences, through a bad upbringing, through a horrible experience, we carry a little bit of hell in our lives, just not because of anyone's fault, just because of life. And I want every interaction that we have, that our kids have with people, is to push a little bit of hell out of their life. So just that portion, so that when we love people well, and one of the ways that we love well is through laughter and through fun, is that if we have a good interaction with someone, that we can push a little bit of hell out of them. We can love the hell out of them. And for the religious folks that are around us, it also makes them uncomfortable. And so we like to do that just a little bit too. And so anyone from a super religious background would be like, oh, you just said hell. Yeah, I did. And so we like doing that. So yeah.
I like that. That just popped into my head. You and I were having a text interaction.
Yes.
And we were talking about a mutual acquaintance, and you're like, yeah, I really like so-and-so,
right,
because they're a bad Christian.
Yes, exactly. Katie and I consider ourselves followers of Jesus. We're involved in church, but that term Christian has just come with this like trappings of religiosity and boringness. And so we're like, we're not going to embrace that, not to dog those that do. But we've just embraced the idea of being followers of Jesus. And one of my favorite pictures of Jesus is an artist in this last century did a picture of Jesus laughing. And we all know the pictures that's up in grandma's house, or the crochet of Jesus being very frowny, or holding a lamb, or dying on the cross. And those are all good. But Jesus had to have laughed. Like, I see the idiots that he surrounded himself with, including, us today. And I laugh at you, so Jesus has got to laugh at you. So, yeah.
So I thought you were about to say something, I think.
Oh, you were talking about the the Christians who swear, and I was just reflecting on, we actually met online dating, and his profile said something about I enjoy Christians who drink.
Yeah.
And so
They're more fun.
we were chatting, and he's like, "Are you though?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." So
So that what I did ask her, I do remember this question, was beer or cider, and she threw a curveball at me and said wine. And so yeah, so that's better for your
that's
heart.
holier anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Water into wine, not beer, not cider, not a gin. So yeah, so we just have tried to put situations in our life where we have fun. One of the things that we tell people, so when we went on our first date in the first couple months of dating, we established, hey, what were we going to do after we've done kind of work? Work is good. We have the opportunity to run a business that my mom started, worked her tail off for 35 years, and is now able to take a step back. And so we're living off a legacy. And so we've always thought about what is our legacy going to be as we have the opportunity to lead and run this business, get it to a place of even greater success, leave that legacy for my mom, my parents, and what are we going to do after that? And so we started talking out loud. So there's a little bit of, you need to tell people what you're going to do because it creates a sense of accountability that you're going to do it. You know, a lot of people just hide our dreams, you know, and I'm more about like, we're going to say what we want to do. And so for when we were dating, the longest time we've spent apart since we started dating was I had a boys trip planned to Mexico for 8 days. And so I went to Mexico for the first time. And then the first thing I did when we decided to get married was like, we're honeymooning in Mexico. And through our time there, the pace of life there is so different. And we had the opportunity to be in a place that was had locals, had vacationers, and had expats, or people who lived in the US and had moved out there. And the pace of the people we met, what I would call genuinely just white folks who moved to Mexico, was life. And the more and more time we've spent down there in different places in Mexico, whether on the local side, the expat side, or the tourist side, was people who moved from these corporate, high-paying, high-stress jobs and went, I just couldn't do it anymore. I had to move here. And I think the one that struck us the most is we met a guy named Sonny. Sonny is actually owns 2 pizza places on Isla Mujeres, which is just off of Cancun. And we had the opportunity on accident to meet the owner. And he is this tan, white bearded guy, probably.
Shirt buttoned up, unbuttoned down.
Yeah, but so you know. And so I'll let you explain more what he was, and then we'll talk about the reveal about what he used to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What he was and what he used to do, kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
He makes pizza. He has the best pizza in the world. It's called Sonny's Pizza, very uniquely. But we just read, I'm a big foodie, well, Bryce is too, and we do a lot of research whenever we go somewhere. And so everyone's like, you got to go get Sonny's Pizza. And part of me, when I'm like, oh yeah, it's owned by an American, I'm like, no, I want like local stuff. But we heard some really good things about it. So we went there anyway, and the location was really cool. So we were down there for Carnival.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was just right in front of where the parade was going to be, in the town center, and right in front of their Catholic church that they have there. And we ordered our pizza, and this guy came out and was like, I'm Sonny, I'm the owner of the place. I'm just here checking to see how the food is, which, by the way, we've been back 2 more times since then. He's always there. He is always there, like helping and making pizza, but
180 hours.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He sets his own.
He does it with sangria in his hand, though.
Yeah, 180 hours.
And again, his shirt's unbuttoned to here, and his hair's in a ponytail, and he's
So
banned.
basically, he can do it with alcohol in his hand, so it's an activity. And so just a conversation with him. Katie and I do have the gift to be able to make people comfortable and have them talk. He shared that he was a corporate speaker for 30 years. Wow. And it just got too much. And he talked about being ultra successful in that business, but it was just too much. And then one day he's sitting there going, I don't want to do this anymore. And he packed his stuff up and he moved to Isla Mujeres, where he had been. And then the next trip that we came in, we go to a place called Keen Ha. It's a beach club, so it's a dock, a beach, and some activities. And through the thing that we do, activities again, alcohol on your head, you get the point. Is we met the owner of Keen Ha.
Same thing. Just checking, walking around, seeing how we were standing in the pool at the pool bar.
Yeah, and
just seeing how things are going.
And so we just got talking to him, and then he's a guy who did the same thing.
Yeah.
Super high in the corporate world, was a restaurateur, owned resorts and stuff. He's like, I just don't like this, and he bought a resort in Mexico. Yeah. And he still had some things going on in Nashville and a couple of their places.
But what did they have in common? When they were in corporate America and they talked about their dream, people would roll their eyes and laugh and sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a lot of that too.
Yeah, we get a lot of that too. So all that pivots, basic, beautiful segue, basic.
I tried.
Katie, what's our 5-year plan that people roll their eyes at?
Oh, we want to move to Mexico. We're slowly.
I had a suspicion that was going to come up.
You got it. We laid the breadcrumbs for the story.
Yeah, so we would love to move there. We would love, we're looking into what it looks like to own real estate in Mexico, because you can and you can't. There are some legal loopholes with forming trusts and entities like that. But yeah, it would be amazing. And the plan is in the next 5 to 8 years, things got bumped around a little bit because we're having a baby in January, hopefully. Yeah. But yeah, the plan is to still run Pinnacle, have Bryce still running Pinnacle from Mexico, flying back as often as possible. Which right now it looks like ideally it would be 3 weeks down there and 1 week up here, or 4 or 5 days up here at home. Airbnb being our home that we own out, and just having a place for friends and family to come visit us and relax and unwind and get a slice of heaven that we feel every time we go there and vacation.
Well, we're gonna.
I'm sure you can make.
And so we say this, and we need it. It's now recorded out in the world. If you become our friend, and no, not this type of friend, at least this type of friend. We actually want to be a resource for people to be like, hey, because as business owners, especially in that entrepreneurial part, finances are tough. You know, like they just always are. Like we're so lucky that my mom did all the hard work and that we get some reward from it. But as business owners, it's tough. And sometimes family vacations or couple vacations get pushed off a little bit. And so the thing that we've actually set up is we want to have a place, a home, a condo big enough that says, hey, we have a home for you and we'll feed you. You know, you might be 6 of you shoved into a room and sleeping on the floor, but you're not there to be in the hotel room. You're not there to be in the condo. You're there to be experiencing the culture, experiencing the food, experiencing the beach. And we got to play with dolphins when we were down there. I actually got to play catch with a dolphin. And so we want to be that resource for people. And I got to tell you, honestly, it was first for our kids. And then our kids got wind of it. And then we've just gone, you know what? It's for our friends. Because we want to be a place, as we love the hell out of people, we want to be a place where people can come and rest and relax and get joy. Because it gets stolen in those. I said the joke earlier, 180 hours that you work a week, yet there's only 168 hours. You figure out how to make 12 more hours in a work week. And so we want that joy to be brought back to people, you know, and it usually takes, when you go on vacation, it takes 2 or 3 days to calm down, you know, and so that's why I always push. Katie's like 7 days because we left the kids at home, and I'm like 9 days because we left the kids at home. You know, and so, but just that opportunity to have that joy to respond back in life, because I think for me, I can think of time and time again when I've stepped away from what I do on a day in, day out, week in, week out basis. That's where my inspiration comes. Is it's outside of the office. It's outside of networking meetings. It's outside of the home. All things that are very important and very valuable, but it's outside of there where we get the time. And I'm going to, you know, connect to the theme here is when we actually get recreation in our life, we actually have the hour time to recreate. We actually step away, and though that word recreate is recreate And we have the opportunity to recreate ourselves, to recreate our business, recreate our family and our marriages and our kids, if we have the opportunity to step away and have fun. And there's something amazing about conversations, even if they're business related with friends or coworkers or family, that happen on the beach, that happen wading into the water, that happen on the plane to and from those places, that give life in a way that nowhere else can. You know, I think that's a furniture store. Yeah, because I'm having a blast. Like I'm gonna be jazzed all weekend, super extrovert, duh. But I'm a vampire of energy. I hope I send some of it back. Maybe a multiplier of energy. Is that there's life with people. There's life with stepping away from the grind, and that's what I want people to have. And so that's the fun that we've tried to create.
So good. Yeah. Your presence, man, you're like mesmerizing. Like normally, this is like nothing against any of our other guests. And it's nothing against myself even. Like I'll tell on myself. I have a tendency to like, once I get going, like I could go for an hour and it's like, this is a group conversation. And so like, I'm typically very mindful of like, oh yeah, we gotta like make sure that just your storytelling. I'm like, man, this is great. Like,
thank you.
Nonetheless, bringing this to
it's engaging. Yeah, very much.
Thank you.
My brain tends to go to like the analytical, the practical, and like I'm already like, okay, how do you like 3 steps to make sure that you take the right amount of vacations, or like. I keep wanting to like throw it to Cherie and be like, Cherie, give us a seminar on success without sacrifice. Like let's get into. And yet, like, I think that stories, especially with stuff like this, is so powerful. And so what I think I want to do is just invite people, think about stories, think about like your life and what you've done, where you're like, man, I really nailed it, or I struggled with this, or I'm currently struggling with it, and maybe we can kind of troubleshoot. But as you were talking, Melissa and I, it is so hard to carve out time to get away. And it's like we talk about it. We're like, oh, we should plan a vacation. Oh, we should plan a getaway. And then it doesn't happen. And then it doesn't happen. And then when we finally do it, it's a monstrous amount of work to get there. And the first 2 or 3 days, you're still just like, did I forget to turn this off? Am I missing a work meeting? Is a client like waiting for me at the doorsteps of a house? And like all of those things. And like you get to day 3-ish and you're just like, oh, I need this so much. So I'm kind of opening it up, inviting stories, Dave.
Gay and I had a situation where we had 2 other couples, and all 3 of the couples were supposed to split a really nice house 150 feet from the water in Kauai on the beach. Both couples bailed. We had no choice but to just go. So for 17 days, it was just Gay and I in this wonderful place.
Wow.
Took me 4 days to realize I didn't remember if I had a tea time today or not. And for the first time in my life, I realized that I was discovering for the first time in my life what a real vacation is, or should be.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to mention is that we had this little road that we would drive back and forth along, and there was some construction going on, new houses and things going along in this area. The guys who would show up every day on the construction crew all had surfboards on their trucks. If surf was up, everything else stopped. Yeah. And they had that freedom. They just said, okay, let's go. And it was like, drop the hammer, get in the truck, go. I thought, well, that's just really silly, isn't it? No, it's not. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a really good thing when you're in control like that.
So I've got something I wanted to talk about. So, I mean, going on like family vacations, that is like amazing, but that's like, 1 or 2 weeks a year. And so there's a story, there's this family that I know, and I can't remember how old their son was going to be, but he was in elementary school, but they wanted to do something really special for his birthday. So they planned to go to Ocean Shores. And then they got home and they asked him, they're like, what was your favorite part of the trip? And they're like, sitting on the couch and watching TV with dad. And so having fun doesn't need to be like a huge expense, a huge trip. And so I encourage people to find some fun in every day. And there's things that, just little silly things we did with our kids, just kind of random, that my kids are adults now, but they still remember, this time at the dinner table when my husband said something silly, and so it's those little moments. And so if you can try to, create those like every day.
Love it. It's great.
One of the things that we try to do, and we find a lot of joy in it, and we do it as often as we can. We went to Costco and they have those electric scooters, little Phantoms, like $400, not that bad. They're 15 miles an hour, and you will wreck at least once. So get it out. Wear a helmet. After that, you're fine. But we have 4 of them, and just this morning I took the dog for a walk, and one almost died, of course, and then came back. Put the dog away. When she sees a bird, she just beelines it, and it's thumb control, and I'm one-handing it. So when she pulls and I try to pull back and try to stop, I'm gunning it. Sorry, the scooter's going up anyways. Drop, and I just went for another scooter ride, just full blast, just kind of carving back and forth, just around our it's a newer neighborhood that's got brand new construction. There's a few areas that are just blank, and it's just nice to get out and breathe and just look around and just kind of shut down. So it's more of just, how do you get away? You shut down. How do you shut down? You find something you enjoy that distracts you from the real engagement that we have to deal with, the grind every day. So find a way to shut down. That's kind of our way to do it. So pass the baton.
Or turning it into another way of generating some revenue. I took a weekend off. Last weekend, I rushed in here to be part of the round table, and I was actually being a gentleman farmer with a horse and 2 donkeys and 3 dogs and a cat, and collected some money at the same time, because my sister and brother-in-law were out, and that's just, they have to bring somebody in, and it was me.
Yeah.
So I got an opportunity to have 20 acres to myself, the animals, and just literally change of pace is all I had to do, is go sit on the porch outside for coffee in the morning, instead of at the table looking at my computer screen going, well, let's see, what do I need to do today? This time it was just like, I'm here and I'm just relaxing.
Definitely. That's good. Animals are good for that. They really bring you peace. Whether it's just your own dog, cat, or if you have farm with horses and stuff, it's amazing.
Depends on the cat.
I was like, my cat. Bryce, I love what you said, that stepping away is where the real growth happens. And I think we get so stuck in the doing and thinking we have to do to reach our goals. And it's really that pulling back and getting that quiet where the ideas come. Yeah. And really actually what kind of pushed me into coaching and shifting from a gift box company. I had a gift box company that I started in 2016. And I'd gone to a business conference because I wanted to really scale that company. I was trying to figure out, how do I scale it and make this work? And we're at the end of the conference, and they turn the lights out, and they're like, okay, we're gonna have you embody this, and we want you to experience, and you had to do this thing where you're like, whoa, it's like, what just happened? Okay. And they wanted you to think about something, and so you would think that it would be like business wise, right? And the lights are down, everybody's standing there. And what came to my mind was fun. And I lost it. I ugly cried for 2 hours straight. I had to beeline it to everyone's high-fiving afterwards. I beelined it to the bathroom, trying to pull myself together. What is happening? Because I had been pushing for so long that I forgot how to have fun. I forgot how to enjoy time with my kids. It had become so much about achievement and pushing. And part of that was my identity, and my worthiness was wrapped up in that. And so that was I had to take a really hard look and figure out what is happening right now. And that's really when I kind of just went back to my sports background and was like, they rest. Athletes have to rest. In order to be in peak performance, they have to rest. And how can I need to figure out how to bring this back into my business. And so I just love this topic. I love that you guys brought this up, because I think as high achievers, we can get so focused on the doing and thinking that's what brings success, but so does fun and enjoyment and joy. Like that's such a big piece of success. So
It's interesting. I was thinking about, but you're thinking 3 steps to, being more creative or being recreation is that I'm not a detailed person. Those that know this or hear this would be like, yep, he sucks at detail. There's no fight about it. And we have one of our leadership team at work is a very detail-oriented person. And he's always like, Bryce, so this is what I do. I spend money for the company and I lose my receipts. And that drives every detail or finance person nuts. And so I developed a system so that I accomplish what needs to get done. So the system is I take a picture and I send an email that has been created for me called Bryce's Receipts. And it goes to our finance department. And what that reminded me of is I'm not going to be good at certain things. So you might not be good at I need a schedule for my fun. But what it is it created a system for me to exist within, which created a rhythm. And I often think I have a little bit of a musical background, but when someone gets up and they play a guitar, and I grew up in the church world, so a guitar meant it was worship time. But when you get pulled into that and you eliminate what else is going on, you start to jive with that rhythm. Your foot will tap. And if you have other musicians in the room, they know how to bring the piano in. They know how to start singing with it. Maybe someone has a box drum that will do. We did this at the Dave Matthews. So prior to being pregnant, we went to the Dave Matthews concert at the Gorge. And we would sit and we would hear music starting over here after the concert.
In the campground.
And they were doing Stevie Nicks, right? Stevie Nicks. And it was really, the first night, it's a guitar and a gal with a gorgeous voice. Night 2 is a guitar, a guy brought his drums. Someone else brought their piano. They literally brought a piano.
It was like the same set list on night 2.
Yeah, and then the third night, more people came. And I think about the rhythm of rest and the rhythm of fun. When you start doing it, there's a vibe that goes out. And the one person gets 2 or 3, and that 3 becomes 10, that 10 becomes a crowd. And as leaders, people look to us. And what rhythm are we setting that has fun and recreation associated with it? Our kids are looking at us. We have the rhythm in our home. At night, we make dinner together and Jeopardy is on in the background. And the kids used to hate it. We're a blended family, so the kids hated it. Now the kids are, why isn't Jeopardy on while we're making this? And it's in our opportunity, it sits, plays in the background, but conversations come out about laughter. Her remembering music stuff that I cannot figure out for the life of me. I don't remember music trivia, she's got it. Music and pop culture is all her. Nerd stuff, that's all me. Yeah, fair. But just that rhythm in our life that creates, maybe Jeopardy isn't fun, but it's a rhythm of rest. It's a rhythm of something not thinking about work, thinking about the next project.
It's done. It's time to move on. Sorry, I just love it. Oh, you're on a roll, man.
Yeah.
Well, on that note too, I was thinking in my head, how do you stay positive and have fun throughout the day? I have a tough time working without music in the background.
Yeah.
Some people find it distracting. Some people are totally good with it, depending on the genre too, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, I think that's part of it is just having that sort of rhythm in my mind helps me think more. It brings joy to me.
Yes.
Always does. So music is a big thing for me. It's always in my head.
Spot
Anyways.
playlist, Apple Music.
Yeah.
That's what was playing that last time. Spot playlist. We all heard it just lightly. Like, where's that music coming from? It's my second phone playing.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
But also, I think also within work, when you are giving a service to somebody, especially if they're down on their luck and they need help, and you're it's nice to see when they first walk in, they're all very timid or scared about what the process is, and then when they go to leave, they leave with a smile on their face because they feel comforted that there's hope in what they're accomplishing through the service. And so that's nice. That's the nice part about business. The only other thing I would say is laugh at yourself. I laugh at myself all the time. I think I'm hilarious and maybe I'm not.
I still say I'll see her chuckling all the way across the house. That's something funny to myself.
Yeah, so that makes me think of there's an expression that I use a lot. It's not as beautiful as love the hell out of people, but I usually try to use the expression like if you can't get out of it, get into it.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of stuff that we do that we make it more humdrum than it needs to be, or it could be as simple as like putting music on while you're doing your paperwork or stuff. But I think that's one of those things. There's a lot of tasks that we need to do or got to do throughout the day, and people just hate it and it's miserable. But if you find a way to get into it, like washing dishes, I don't love washing dishes, but sometimes I'll like put some music on and I'll dance a little bit and I'll be goofy and silly and like it's just little sprinkles of happiness throughout the day.
I like that.
I like what you were saying too about incorporating people, because there's all these things like we do need to rest and relax, and sometimes that can be an outlet that you have that's individual, but bringing people into it. And I don't know why I thought of this, but like growing up for me, the car ride was always silent. Like we didn't talk in the car. And so I have a hard time talking in the car with my kids. But man, I put on Backstreet Boys, my kids never get tired. It's just great to hear them singing to something that I loved and going back to the rhythm, but finding those things where we're incorporating people. And we talk, especially here, a lot about how we serve. And sometimes that gets deep and heavy. So I love how do we have fun with people? How do we just bring joy and silliness, laughing at ourselves? It doesn't always have to be, Dave, I really want to support you and lift you up. Dave, I just want to make fun of you.
Good at it.
That's great.
I want to. You brought up the ugly crying, and I'm really glad that you did. And then you talked about rhythm, and that just like I got goosebumps because I like rhythm is one of my biggest like aha, like whoa, like we can understand the rhythm of things. I think we are able to navigate life in a more optimal way.
Yeah.
And this is one that I was like, I kind of want to bring this up. And I was even thinking about it today, like a lot, like the last couple of days. And I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable here in that what I'm going to talk about is like out there weird, but it's not. Like you guys are gonna be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But like the actual invitation to do this is like, everybody's gonna be like, nope, like great idea, not doing it. Not in my backyard kind of thing, right? So the idea or the realization is like, I need to cry. Like I am now currently like actively in this season of life. I just need a really good cry. And it's not any one thing, it's a combination, but like I just like I'm aware that like for my health, having not a mental breakdown, but like just ugly cry moment would be very healthy and beneficial for me. And I've shared with a friend a while ago, and like it's ever since it's just been stuck in my brain. I want to do a group cry. Like I want to get together with a group of people and put on some Dave Matthews, put on some John, and like just like the things that and it's even like in many of the ancient writings of the Bible, like mourn with those who mourn, grieve with those who grieve. Like there's this thing that culturally we've kind of fallen away from, where it's and interestingly, you talk about yourself being the optimist. I'm the same boat, and somebody that I greatly respect uses the phrase toxic positivity. And when he first started using it, I wanted to fight him over it. I wanted to be like, no, like positivity is not toxic. Positivity is good. Positivity is, and as he unpackaged it and explained it in different ways at different times, I have fully come around and I'm like, yes, there is this like, I don't want to go to that ugly crying place. And so I'm going to fight so hard that I'm literally poisoning myself with positivity. And so in that rhythm, and so this is, like I said, somewhat jokingly, an invitation. Like I want to put on an event that's like group crying, and anybody that's interested, put it in the inbox, put it somewhere like, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
It sounds kind of crazy, but actually, if you think about it, everybody can have their own story they share. That like my little sister when she passed away from brain tumor. I mean, if I shared that story in detail, I would lose it. But there's a lot about it that I haven't dealt with. There's a lot about it that I boxed and just packaged away. And I got tons of those stories. We all have tons of those stories. So, I mean, you think about it, it's kind of funny when you say it like that. But if it was like, we're going to have a hard conversation Friday where we're going to talk about the things that are holding us back that we're struggling with truly, there might be something there. There might actually be something there.
I don't know that I want it recorded.
Right.
I'll cry all day in front of the camera.
All right, I'm open to whatever, guys.
Just like all the Disney clips of their mom dying and their grandma, they like all the Bambi. Yeah. Cool.
So I always celebrate when people cry on coaching calls because it means there's breakthrough.
Yeah.
Because it's the stuff that you've been holding on for so long, and somebody just said it, that the blocks, like those are the things that are blocking us from actually having success, especially having success without burnout. And so I'm a big person on limiting beliefs, but they're like, I don't cry, like give me 60 minutes. But it's a good thing, but it's vulnerable and it's hard. I used to hate crying. I used to hate rest. I used to hate all of that. But in order to really have like a fulfilling and joyful life, you've got to dig into the hard parts.
Ramel, I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you introduce yourself and what you do and how people can connect with you?
How's it going? Ramel Watson, and so I am the associate director at Eastern Washington University in the Career Center. So I do employee relations there.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that I was late because what ate away at my time. So I could just generally say that homelessness on the college campus is just something that doesn't get mentioned enough. They talk about dorms and they assume that people have places to stay, but at our institution and others, there are a lot of students that they're fighting the good fight. They're going to school, trying to change their lives. It's just maybe they don't have a place to stay. So we try our best to accommodate that. So that's what I was busy doing.
Thanks for what you do. Awesome. Well, we're getting kind of close to the end of the hour. So I kind of want to, at this point, I usually pivot and try to put a little bit of a bow on it, and also invite people that maybe didn't get a chance to share yet. If you've kind of been,
I'll share something. Yes. He's talking to me. So I really wanted to bring up it's spoken and then not spoken, that the woman sets the tone for the home. And there are so many times that I personally have struggled with bringing the joy to the home. And someone recently said, wow, it seems so easy for you to just laugh and have fun with your kids. And asked me if that was, true. And I said, it has been a struggle, honestly. And I've really had to be extremely intentional on how to do that in our home. And I think that has a lot to do with my own background. There's been joy, but there's been a lot of hardship in my own growing up. And I think that this is such a great topic because it is such a real thing that, yes, there needs to be rest, and yes, there needs to be joy, and yes, there needs to be laughter. And for us personally, we find so much joy in scaring the living daylights out of each other with our kids. And it's especially with the boys, and they're almost 15 and almost 13 here really soon. And Isabella's she's 8, but we kind of do it like toned down for her because there's times where she's like, I'm not having that. But just the bringing I really feel like that rests on me as the mom, as the woman of the home. And John is a big jokester and he loves having fun. And there's times when I walk in and I literally squash the entire moment. And it's not always in that moment that I feel this like, well, shoot. But it's usually later. And I'm like, I literally squashed that entire moment. And, everybody's having fun except for mom. And I really try. And I feel like I've done much, much better lately, honestly. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. But this is such, just thank you, honestly, for bringing this topic up. And it has really given me pause. And I hope it does for everybody, even those listening and, hiding in the background sometimes, some of you, but it really matters. It really matters how we, come into the middle of a conversation or come into the room or the kitchen. For us, it's the kitchen. And, are we squashing the moment, or are we engaging? Are we having that fun? Are we taking the moment to scare the heck out of each other around the corner? Because we've got corners in our home. And, or even taking the moment to just be like, hey, I love you. I see you. I know today was hard, but I see you and I hear you. And so really just thank you. It's really given me a lot to think about, a lot to consider. And, a lot of people have said their home is a place of calm and relaxation. And our kids are really quiet. They're quiet kids, but they know how to have fun too. And I think that's really important. And I love that. And it's really funny because when they're around other people their kids are like loud, they're like, Mom, oh my gosh. The world, it's just chaos there. And I'm like, it's not chaos. Well, sometimes it is, but it's just different. And but yeah, gosh, yeah, let's bring the joy and the laughter into the home. I think that's great. It's important.
I usually watch I don't know if you guys have heard of Impractical Jokers.
I love that show.
It's my favorite show of all time. You seen it? Dude, when I'm having a bad day, that show goes on, and within 15 minutes, I'm crying in laughter. And if not that, then I go to AGT, America's Got Talent. You watch those gold droppings when they do gold buzzer. And then you're tearing, but that brings a different emotion of happiness, joy, seeing someone else go through it though.
Yes.
So there's still a moment there of you check out and you're kind of vicariously living through someone else's joy. So that or something else funny in your life, I think, can try to reset you when you're having those bad moments. If you cognitively do it in the moment, not just, something to watch. Yeah. But I think that helps. Yeah.
I'll let you guys kind of put a bow on it. I wanted to say a few things. One to what Melissa was just saying, and then Josh, what you were saying. And the bigger conversation of the rhythms. I think that what Melissa was describing is what male, female, there's in your relationship, if it's a spouse, if it's whatever that, there is a balancing, I'm growing and being changed by her. She's growing and being changed by me.
Yeah.
And Sheree, like you, I was not comfortable with emotions. Still struggle to really engage at that level, but it's something I'm growing in. And one of the things that we've realized in this relatively recent season in our lives is that it is uncomfortable to realize that, I guess to realize you're not perfect, right? But it's oh, that feeling of I'm a wet blanket, or oh, I ruined this. And even a lot of times things that we say to each other unintentionally lands really different than it was meant to be presented. And then the bigger theme is something that I've really recently been ruminating on is, in order for change to happen, death first has to happen. And I use that really big, scary word, death, but like, it's a, and this is a religious phrase, it's dying to yourself. It's like plants, the seed goes into the ground, dies, and something new comes up, the phoenix from the ashes. And speaking of phoenixes from the ashes, I really wanted to mention Morgan, that the reason that many of us know each other is Morgan Walters, who created Mad Collab Studios. Tonight, they are relaunching a grand opening, Barrister Winery, 5 to 9 p.m. It's part of First Friday. I am super excited. I don't think I'm gonna be there for very long, but I'm super excited to see them in action. And I say Phoenix from the ashes because their house literally burned down. And so they're rising from those ashes, literally, but also figuratively. There's a lot there. Also on the events, I forgot to mention, Melissa and I host at that very unique house that we just described. We host a monthly gathering, and this month is October 19th. And that's one of our ways that we recreate, is having people come over, play cornhole,
jump on the
bounce house,
climb the giant swing that's like 25 feet tall.
Activity. We have a beer fridge. Data Money Mike keeps us stocked in our beer fridge.
Just roll back to what you're talking about is evolution. I think is what we're all kind of coding here. The fact of being able to change from what you're doing currently to finding a new way to be happy and joyous. You have to evolve. I mean, that's change. That's real change. But identifying it and actually making it happen is where it comes from.
So we are at 2:00. So I'd love for you to
what Josh said, I think is actually really important, is that we have old patterns in our lives, and we have to when you walk on a literal path, it's worn down, and it's so much easier to get on that path. So the grind. And so for a while, it is going to seem out of the normal. For you to create that new pattern. I would call it the renewing of a mind. You're renewing the way that you do things. And so you have to tell yourself it feels wrong to be having fun. But I would encourage you to embrace the wrongness and have fun and bring laughter. And bring all of that back into your life, because that's where true joy and true breakthrough come through. I think is through happiness, through laughter, and through fun.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys being here. Mike, you're going to take us out in a minute. I just want to invite everybody that's watching this and here in the room as well. I just want to sit with a lot of the things that came up here, and I want to keep the conversation going. But if you know somebody that needs to hear this, if you know somebody that is struggling on either end of this, that we all have met the person that's trying really hard to stay happy and stay positive. And then also those that are just like, nope, I don't even want to be happy because I have to do something important, and it's make or break. Share this with them. Share a conversation. Ask your partner, ask somebody close to you how you are perceived in your realities, and let it shape something. But share this. Come be a part of us on Fridays. We're always here. That's an invitation to everybody. Love it when people are here in the room. And Mike, I'm almost reluctant to give you a mic.
Yeah. There you guys have it. That was awesome. Did you learn something? I think you did. And that's called value. And because of that, you should like this video. Remember that sharing is caring. Subscribing is what winners do, but smashing the bell right there, that's what winners do. Hey, be sure to hook these two up with some paid drinking, and we will see you next week.